Basically, these are three reasons why I believe that Bitcoin has increased over 30%, maybe 35% over the last 10 days. Number one, you've seen it. The banking system, the traditional banking system is collapsing right in front of our faces. Hey everybody, Just Enter here and welcome to the channel. Today we're on day 115 of my $1 million challenge. First, it seems like it's impossible. There will be some validity. Bitcoin could be worth $1 million in 90 days. That is the bet that former Coinbase CTO Balaji is betting on. Is there any validity in his argument, or is it just another way of manipulating people into buying Bitcoin? Personally, I think that there's a little bit of both. On one hand, I truly believe that we are being manipulated. I think the data is being manipulated, and there's a lot of lying going around. Banks are in desperate need of liquidity. The key phrase is unrealized losses, which I will be discussing in the next video. What you need to pay attention is a few things like the timeline, how banks had to deal with repo loans in 2019, then we got hit with COVID, then inflation, and most likely there's a great possibility that we're going to be entering into a hyperinflation.
Into a hyperinflation.
At the same time, you have a lot of Bitcoin purists that can create FOMO. And how do they do it? They use social media, they use Twitter, and right now, Balaji, I don't know much about him except that he's a CTO, former CTO of Coinbase. He was also the former general partner or counsel at Andreessen Horowitz, which is a huge and very powerful venture capital firm in the West Coast. So he obviously has inside information, he has the experience, he has context, something is going on. His analysis is interesting. I'm not going to take anything away from it. He has some really valid points. But again, can't remember what happened with GameStop. We can all remember what happened with AMC theaters. So it is the popular power, the general public, going crazy and deciding to buy Bitcoin at the same time. You got to remember, Bitcoin is very limited. Though technically 21 million were created. Out of 21 million, I believe 2 million have been lost forever. All we have left is between 18 to 19 million Bitcoin. Bitcoin today is about $28,000. And most people don't even buy Bitcoin. They buy Satoshis, which is a fraction of a Bitcoin. When you have scarcity, then you're dealing with demand and supply. Obviously, if more people want to buy Bitcoin, they want to acquire a piece of Bitcoin, then the price is going to go through the roof. Now, you got to keep in mind that I'm talking about retail investors, you and I. I'm not talking about institutional investors. If you have a huge demand from retail investors, yeah, the price is going to be affected. Now, the question is,
could this be an institutional ploy?
Just got here to come pick up documents for my first client of the day. And yes, they're already client because they're already paid a retainer. Now I got documents and I'm gonna see my second client of the day. These are very quick stops. I'm trying to keep them under 10 minutes because I have a lot of work today and not planning on really wasting any time today. But the topic of today is Bitcoin. And you guys think it's really gonna go to 1 million? See, in this day and age, anything is possible. It's like a freaking movie, I swear. It's like, just when you think something is impossible, the next day it happens. And now they're comparing our inflation with Germany's hyperinflation of 1923. I think that's going to be a big topic over the next few months. How Germany went into super hyperinflation in less than 15 hours. Okay, I'm done with my second meeting. Now I'm going into my third meeting and fourth meeting. So we're gonna have a packed day, action-packed day. Pretty much I'm done with all the work today, and I'm glad I'm gonna head to pick up Ellie, and then from there I have a 2.5 hour drive back home. So on the way, I'll be talking about Bitcoin, the $1 million bet that's going around, and it's gonna be fun. Let's do this. Let's get out of here. Change of plans. I'm gonna be heading to Miami tomorrow, so I'm gonna be staying here. I was gonna go home, but now instead of going home, and I'm gonna drive south to Miami. Basically, these are three reasons why I believe that Bitcoin has increased over 30%, maybe 35% over the last 10 days. Number one, you've seen it. The banking system, the traditional banking system is collapsing right in front of our face. Banks right now are very fragile. And this has been brewing for a long, long time. Number two, USDC literally depegged between 12 to 15% recently. And the USDC is a stable coin, and it was a safe place for investors to park their money in a bear market. And by depegging, now there's some significant trust issues with the stable coin, meaning that now that money is migrating to Bitcoin. And number three, the Federal Reserve literally just printed $300 billion to bail out banks. They don't want to call it a bailout, but they're printing. Printing money creates more inflation. Inflation creates a bull market, but a very, very, very specific bull market, because as you can see, not every crypto went up, only a handful of them. Now, what's interesting is Chef Jerome Powell, he's making an interesting soup here, because he printed $300 billion, and then now, as of today, he raised the interest rate a 0.25%. I think that's probably going to be the pattern for the next few months. I think they're going to keep printing money, and then right away, they increase the interest rate by a quarter. And I guess that's his recipe for the soft landing that he's been talking about for over a year. All we can do right now is watch, be very cautious, don't bite into any of this FOMO. You have to be very, very, very conservative in your investing. I hope this video helps. Please subscribe to my channel, and until the next one. Thank you. Take care.